to you. Welcome to the first look right here on Real TV. I am your host, Brandon Best. And guys, it is a beautiful Tuesday morning here in Trinidad and Tobago, and I'm excited for us to share together. Uh, Yesterday we had introductions. The nice and first time for us to meet. And now we're going to take you guys on a journey throughout the rest of this week and for the rest of this season to ensure that you guys get all the information that you need. So I want to say good morning to you. It is Christmas season in the air, literally just about 9 days before Christmas, Hey, listen, I can already smell the aroma in the air. I can feel like if I can smell the pastel and the ham and you know what, I'm the type of person, bear with me, because I enjoy to get, like some nice hot, baked bread with a nice cup of, cocoa tea with some ham, give me that laced with some sausage and some eggs and some pancakes. You might find I real fancy, but I enjoy, a beautiful Christmas breakfast. And to be honest with you, that and I'm good for the day. So I want to say it is beautiful to be here with you this morning, this December the 16th of 2025. And I'm excited. We have a lot to talk about, a lot to share. So let's just look into today's news day and let's talk about some things that are happening in our country. The first thing that we want to look at today is, some developments happening in our shores. Trinidad and Tobago allows the U.S. military transit at our airports. So it says at Port of Spain, Trinidad and Tobago, the government of Trinidad and Tobago said on Monday that it would allow the U.S. military to access its airports in coming weeks as tensions build between the United States and Venezuela. The announcement comes after the U.S. military recently installed a radar system at the airport in Tobago. The Caribbean country's government has said the radar is being used to fight local crime and that the small nation wouldn't be used as a launch pad to attack any other country. And I hope you guys heard what they're saying there. He's saying that the Trinidad and Tobago is not going to be utilized as a launch pad to attack any other country. And I pray that that is something that is a resounding, message that's being stated, that our country, while we have some things in our water, is not necessarily trying to get ourselves too much involved, right? The U.S. would use the airports for activity that would be logistically in nature, facilitating supply, refreshment, and routine. All right. Personal rotations. Trinidad and Tobago's Ministry of Foreign Affairs said in a statement it did not provide further details. Trinidad's Prime Minister previously has praised ongoing U.S. strikes on alleged drug boats in the Caribbean. Only 7 miles, 11 kilometers separate Venezuela from the Twin Island Caribbean, a nation at their closest point. It has two main airports, Piarco International Airport in Trinidad and A.N.R. Robertson International Airport in Tobago. Boy, oh boy. Tensions are rising. Tensions are rising on our seas. And, we aren't in a particular position to comment fully on all that is taking place between the U.S. and Venezuela and in our waters. We do have to trust that, our Prime Minister, for some reason, would know how to navigate this situation, because I'm certain that, there's a lot more at stake that is happening. But what we do know and what we are, assured of is that this is a very strange time in our nation's history. Never before, I think, we have been so close to what we consider in recent history, as I would add, to be, this close to the brink of what could be a potential war. Now, we don't want to spark anything, but the Prime Minister has praised the U.S. for, their strikes on alleged drug boats. We have heard comments from Venezuelan officials that, some of these boats may have been not only carrying illegal activities or substances, but there are persons there that may have been innocent, and then also these are still people, so families are, losing lives based on this. Now, I want to hear from you, because I think as a nation, we may be very concerned because of the fact that we're so close to what is to be troubled waters, and I think a lot more needs to be given to the public in terms of all that is happening. A lot more information. I think we deserve to understand the dynamics of this a little bit more, so that we can feel safer. Because we want to also see that with all of those that are our immigrant population, especially those who live here from Venezuela themselves, it may become very uncomfortable. That is our close neighbor, and we are also very, very related and tied to the U.S. So how we really manage this season as a country is so important, and I pray that we do the best and we navigate it the best. So I really pray for good wisdom. I pray for good decision making in our leadership to really help us through, because these are some very, very difficult times. Even in Venezuela, they accused the Trinidad and Tobago Prime Minister Carmen Prasad-Bessessa of having a hostile agenda against Venezuela, noting that the U.S. military installed an airport radar in Tobago. So, it's a battle of perception, because we know coming from our side, the conversation is largely nothing against Venezuela, but genuinely about, that war on crime, or drugs and illegal activity, or illegal substances. But we need to manage the situation carefully, and I think as a people, we would want to be able to understand, okay, how do we navigate this, and also what's going to be the impact for us. Very, very, very strange times. Very strange times that we're living in, and I think that it can be a little bit daunting. But guess what? On some lighter news, at least some encouraging conversation. We have the police. They're saying that Port of Spain is still safe. Recently, following a deadly shooting on December 14th in the nation's capital, a senior superintendent of the police, Raymond Tom, sought to reassure the public, saying things aren't wild in the city. And I like that statement. He said things aren't wild in the city, man. He's saying relatively, Port of Spain remains safe. There's nothing to panic about. So, while we may have seen recent incidents, shootings, and some crimes, the Port of Spain is still very safe. Speaking briefly with the Newsday by phone on December 15th, Tom addressed the shooting that claimed the life of a 28-year-old Jelani George of Mova, who was shot and killed on 5th Street, Peter Avenue. George was seated in his silver Hyundai Creta at the time of the incident. Tom said police are still working to determine whether George was the intended target or the attack, but investigators believe the shooting was gang-related. He described the December 14th incident as an isolated one, addressing concerns about crime and violence in Port of Spain. He said it's not to say there's no violence in the city. There has been a decrease of crime in the city when it comes to robberies, wrongdoings, and shootings. Now, I don't know if you've been to Port of Spain, and I want to be able to commend the TTPS for their statement. But we really need to do something about, especially in that Charlotte Street area thereabout. This is where heavy shopping takes place. A lot of our mothers and fathers, our young professionals are going there, especially in these 9 days of Christmas. And you tend to have a lot of these young men that they roam the streets that could create some form of instability and fear. So while we do really understand and appreciate the feedback from Mr. Tom, I think we want to be able to also acknowledge the reality. The reality is that when you go through Port of Spain, you may be a little bit uncomfortable because we still are dealing with some form of elements that, those guys who may be snatching your chain, holding your handbags. And there has been a couple of those things surfacing the media. So I think in the public's point of view, I don't think that they're trying to, to spark fear in the hearts of the public, but I do believe that they're trying to tell a story of what their reality is. So we want to say thank you to the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service for that encouraging word. And we do hope that for the rest of these 9 days that we would be able to feel safe in Port of Spain as we go through our shopping. Because guess what? It is very, 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 very necessary. Also, we got some information here concerning the oil and gas industry. Well, the Shell Aphrodite gas project status, it says that Trinidad and Tobago's government is waiting for a development plan from the energy producer Shell to push forward the Aphrodite offshore gas project. Documents seen by Reuters showed Shell said in June that it made a positive final investment decision on the discovery, which is expected to produce first gas in 2027 and have a peak production of over 18,400 barrels of oil equivalent per day. The Reuters Power Up provides you with that information. And also in a letter to Shell dated November 24th, Trinidad's energy minister said the company had not fully met required conditions and that a field development plan must be submitted before the government will grant approval. One of these documents, I guess we would find later on today. So we see some development within the energy sector. And we do hope that Shell is able to produce that plan, because it would be great for our nation if we can see that high production of 18,400 barrels produced a day. And that is really, really good stuff as well. Well, let's just go quickly over to some entertainment and international news. We see Emily in Paris, iHeartRadio Jingle Ball, and him. It says Marlon Wayans is starring in the Jordan Peele-produced football thriller, him and the iHeartRadio Z100's Jingle Ball 2025, featuring Cannon Gray, Ed Sheeran, Jelly Roll, and Olivia Dean are some of the new television, film, music, and games headed to a device near you. Also among the streaming offers, the offerings with your time this week. They also have a second season of Fallout that arrives on Prime Video, and they got some more stuff happening as well. So we got some big actors, some big things to look forward to this Christmas. Also, some good things that happened over the weekend. Digicel, they had a Christmas caravan connects with their community. All Christmas season, Digicel's community pop-up caravan will be moving across the country, spreading Christmas cheer and making real connections with communities and customers, from markets to main roads. Santa Cruz and Santa and his helpers from Digicel are surprising customers with gifts ranging from groceries to Christmas ham, sharing genuine moments of appreciation and connection with the people they met along the way. So you may be in your area or in your community, and you just may connect with the Digicel truck that is passing through, and they're going to be rolling in with their Santa, and guess what? They got some gifts for their customers. So, Digicel, if you're passing through, come check us out here on Real TV. Bring Santa along, and we would love to see and have some gifts as well. As we speak about a Santa, I just want to let you guys know briefly that the Grinch is in town. So if you see the Grinch coming to some of your corporate offices, I want to let you guys know that don't be afraid. I saw yesterday that the Grinch has been literally almost everywhere. And it's amazing, right? Because the truth is that, we have, usually Santa is what you're going to see everywhere you go. But right now, we're in that Grinch era. So I guess if you see the Grinch, make sure to wave, take a picture, and hopefully we probably have him pass through here on Real TV. Guys, we're going to take a short break and come back with some more. When we do, we're going to get into some more information for you, bring you that local, regional, and international news right here on The First Look on Real TV. I'm your host, Brandon Best. I'll see you guys when you come back.
Every word, every line, every paragraph depicts a real moment in someone's life. A father, a sister, a mother, a brother. We at Newsday are dedicated to you, the people, and through independent, unwavering journalism, strive to always bring your stories to life. Because your stories are more than just words. Newsday, independent and credible.
Hi, I'm Steve Stanker, Transformational Life Coach. Join me on Elevate with Coach Steve as we transform your mindset, build mental and emotional resilience, and help you rise into your best self. Every Tuesday from 9 a.m. right here on Real TV. Let's elevate together.
Macon
industry and commerce in Westmoreland. It says that the private sector is calling for a greater consultation with the government as there continues to be uncertainty about policy direction. This was one of the major suggestions put forward by the Business Outlook Index for Q4, that's Q4 2025, which was a survey done by the Trinidad and Tobago Chamber of Industry and Commerce, TT Chamber in partnership with the UWI Arteluk Jack Global School of Business. The finding that most executives are not sure which areas the new government will positively influence points to uncertainty around political and policy direction, signaling the need for clearer communication and stronger public-private engagement. This led to the first of two policy recommendations by the BIO, which stated strengthen public and private dialogue to reduce policy uncertainty. And the BOI recommendation stated, given the high share of executives who are unsure about the government's direction, structured engagement channels such as quarterly consultations, sector roundtables, and formal public-private task force should be institutionalized. This would provide predictability, enhance trust, and ensure that reforms consider business realities. Now, I want to be able to touch on that because it's very important. The business community is, reaching out to the government to be able to get some consultation, a lot more dialogue. What they're saying is that they want to be able to partner and ensure that they're supporting the government of the day, but they are unclear and some uncertainty is being driven based on some of the policies that are being brought forward, and it's not necessarily that it's an issue with policy, it's just an issue with communication. So what they're asking for is more dialogue, more sit-downs, more conversations, more forums, so that they can have absolute clarity. It's strange because in our country, sometimes we speak in a way that people should just understand. But when you're dealing with national issues and public issues, and you're dealing with things that matter to companies and organizations that the country depend on to survive, they want to be able to know that they understand with absolute certainty. There's no questions about it. What does this policy mean? How does it impact us? And how does it affect all that we're going to do as an organization? So I think it's a good call. They would have led a study on it, and I think it's a good recommendation to the government. There are a couple of bullet points. They said, given the significant shift in the food services hiring outlook, the government could temporarily enhance VAT refund processing, introduce productivity or digitization grants for SMEs in hospitality, encourage dialogue with manufacturers and distributors to mitigate price shocks. This policy is directly linked to finding in the BOI, which outline how policy changes directly impact the accommodation and food service sector, which even prompted a reissue of the survey after the budget announcement that excise duties on alcohol and tobacco had increased. And we're going to chat about that in a short while. Later on in the program, we'll also see if we could probably get Mr. Ian himself to come and comment on this. But in following up to this conversation, we see that the Trinidad and Tobago Carnival Bands Association, they're also speaking out concerning obviously the raise in alcohol. Because remember, they have, while Christmas is in the air, Carnival is literally right around the corner. So bands are getting themselves ready. They're putting out their costumes. They have literally, their patrons have literally paid. In some instances, some patrons have already paid for all the services. And midway of these purchases, if you remember, some bands, a lot of them are sold out before even the election would have called. So now with the rise in the alcohol prices, it may have put a squeeze or a challenge on those mass band leaders, because now the question would be whether or not they would increase their prices, have to go back to their customers and let them know, well, because of the hike in alcohol, or maintain our prices and they cover the expense. So we got some feedback here from Mr. Mark Ian. It says, few industries in Trinidad and Tobago operate with margins as thin and expectations as high as Carnival. For masqueraders, bands, where the product is not simply a custom, but an all-inclusive, all-immersive experience. Every component now sits under scrutiny following the government's 100% hike in customs and excise duties on alcohol and tobacco products. Those measures were announced by Minister of Finance, Mr. Tanku, during his October 13th budget presentation, in which he said that 80% of the projected revenue increases in the 2026 budget are attributed to the hike in custom duties on alcohol and tobacco products. So I hope you guys pay attention to that. Under the revised structure, duties on rum and spirits doubled, rising from $79.25 to $158.50 per alcohol content. Beer duties also doubled from $5 to $10 by gravity. So we literally see that there has been an enormous hike in the price of alcohol consumption and also that of tobacco, 100%. Which obviously has affected some of the industries, especially mass bands as well. So the president of the Trinidad and Tobago Carnival Bands Association and band leader of Dirty Medics, Mark Ian, described the sector's response as a balancing act between fiscal responsibility and customer expectation. He acknowledged that the new duty structure has hit the industries at a difficult and fully committed juncture. As a band leader, I have daily and frequently had conversations with our members, and it's ongoing to pose a problem because there is going to be an increase in the overhead. Ian said many of these bands are now all-inclusive, so the onus is on the bands to provide this aspect, which includes alcohol. So there's without a doubt going to be an increase in price. Ian indicated, however, that while bands understand the government's revenue generation priorities, the timing has created a constraint. Carnival 2026 mass band prices were already announced and paid for. It would be unethical for bands to change their prices. At this point, he highlighted, we as band leaders now have to look at avenues where we could probably cut on certain costs so we can absorb that increase somehow. You know, that is, it's pretty unfortunate. I understand for band leaders. You know, while we do appreciate the deterrent from our citizens being able to consume alcohol at a heavier rate, because we understand that there are also some consequences for being heavily involved with alcohol and tobacco. So we have seen the disadvantages, but also it is part of an industry, especially during the carnival time and the carnival season. Mark Ian saying in this article that here's what, because things have already been paid for, they may cause a situation where they may have to increase price, or they have to make a decision to now absorb all of that cost. I mean, I want to ask you guys, because some of you already have prepared for 2026 Carnival, if your band leader were to come back to you right now and say, here's what, guys, we have to add probably additional $1,000, $2,000 onto your package. Unfortunately, alcohol has risen. What would be your decision now? How would you navigate it? Would you be understanding with your bands and say, hey guys, we really understand. We'll go find the funding, find the money if we have to ensure that we can do it? Or would it be a deterrent for you for this carnival season? So what I would want to advise the public is that expect this 2026 Carnival to probably be a bit more pricey, because as I said yesterday, some things are going to now filter into the other. So we're going to expect that some industries and those around it may also increase as well. So yeah, get your loans, get your finances in order, save your money, and make sure that if you're going out on the road for this carnival, that you at least prepare yourself really, really well financially to ensure that you can enjoy the season. One more thing that he said is that bands no longer just provide costumes, they provide an experience. And all of this is part of the experience. We have to find ways as well to mitigate the increasing costs, but it's really going to be a difficult one. So we hear that from those band leaders, and we do hope that there would be a solution that can be rectified. And we do hope that something would work out in the public's interest and for those businesses who are very much dependent on a carnival for the business to thrive. In some international news, we've seen some really, really tragic events happening. All right, so we got Brown University shooting that killed 2 and wounded 9. The Providence, Rhode Island, a person of interest was in custody on Sunday after a shooting during final exams at Brown University that killed 2 students and wounded 9 others. Though key questions remain unanswered more than 12 hours after the attack. The attack on Saturday afternoon set off hours of chaos across the Ivy League campus and surrounding Providence neighborhoods as hundreds of officers searched for the shooter and urged students and staff to shelter in place. The lockdown, which stretched into the night, was lifted early Sunday, but authorities had not yet released information about the potential motive. Call Oscar Perez, the Providence police chief, said that the person in custody was in their 30s and that investigators were not searching for anyone else, but that no one has been charged as yet. Wow. He declined to say whether the detained person had any connection to Brown. The person was taken into custody at a Hampton Inn hotel in Coventry, Rhode Island, about 20 miles, 32 kilometers from the Providence, where police officers and FBI agents remained Sunday, blocking off all hallway with crime scene tape as they searched the area. The shooting occurred during one of the busiest moments of the academic calendar as final exams were underway. Brown canceled all remaining classes, exams, papers, and projects for the semester and told students they were free to leave campus, underscoring the scale of the disruption and the gravity of the attack. The gunman opened fire inside a classroom in the university's engineering building, firing more than 40 rounds from a 9mm handgun. A law enforcement official told the Associated Press Sunday morning authorities had not recovered a firearm, but did find 2 loaded 30-round magazines, the official said. Wow. I mean, that's some devastating news. Could you imagine sending your children to school, especially for final exams? And now remember, this is a university. And in this university, let's consider even our own universities here where there are campuses. And campuses are where, people could stay, students could stay on campus. They could live on campus. They can go to school right there. So their livelihood is there. And could you imagine someone coming into our schools and literally taking a heavy arm rifle weapon and loading and offloading 40 rounds at students? They said that in the engineering block, just literally offloading. This is something that is very, very crazy. It is something that is not right in the world. And I thank God that at Trinidad and Tobago, we have not experienced this type of impact with crimes. I mean, we do have our issues, but I thank God we have not experienced this as yet, and I pray that we never have to. Because I can imagine the lives and the hearts, the parents. 2 children were killed, 2 young people lost their lives, and 9 were wounded. Imagine the place that you send your children to school. To be able to feel safe, to be educated, to become the future of tomorrow. And they go and they can't even come back home. Can you imagine what it would be like for you as a parent to have that on your heart? Imagine for the students who actually go to the university, who would have been there, ready for their exams. All they have been doing, preparing themselves just to be able to pass this exam and do well, to be able to be encountered with a traumatic and tragic event like this. I think that this is something that needs to be addressed. And it also points us a picture now. We need to, they say when your neighbor's house is on fire, you need to wet yours, right? I think we need to pay attention when it comes to our own safety within our schools. We know that in Trinidad and Tobago, and even in the region as well, we have experienced some incidences in our schools, whether it be within the school itself. We have internal conflict amongst the students, amongst the teachers and the students. We may have some small gang-related activities coming outside the elements of school. Now, let me tell you guys, I'm a Saints guy. You know, I came from St. Mary's College, so big up to CIC one time. But back even in those days, when I went to secondary school, you know, we had to encounter incidents of safety. To be very honest with you, I remember going to school at a point in time, and the principal at that time, Father Mendez, he would have stated, he called a whole meeting, and you know, the CIC students were being targeted because of, you know, stigma, the assumption that just because you go to, you know, a 7-year school would assume that you'll have some form of money, or, you know, just that type of stigma. And he would have given the instruction that students leaving school would now have to take off their school shirt and walk the streets in our white undergarment. And that was actually a true thing. There was an era when you'd see a bunch of young people coming through Port of Spain on Pembroke Street and on Frederick Street, and they're wearing a white jersey and a brown pants. And that most of those were CIC students, because we were advised now not to have the uniform on, because the uniform could create a target. I've also been in instances where schools war against schools, and they come, and so there is activity that used to happen. And I can't speak to all that happens now. We do know that our schools in Trinidad and Tobago do have its issues, and we do hope to have some conversation, even with our education minister, you know, on how we could continue to add value and protection and safety, and to ensure that things like these never happen in our country. Because trust me, that may be one of the scariest days of our lives and in our nation's history. I cannot believe, and I can't even imagine what these children have been facing, and what they're going to experience, and what they're going to experience for the next 2 years of their lives. Matter of fact, even longer. So they may have to return to the same school where their friend just lost their life. They may have to return in the same classroom, in the same engineering block where this event happened, and then I expected to perform. Guys, I think we need to deal with this and even speak a lot more. As I told you guys on Tuesday, we want to be able to deal with some things as it pertains to education. So we really want to have these type of conversations as well, because we need to secure the minds of our children. Guys, we're going to take a short break and come back with some more. If you don't know, you're watching The First Look right here on Real TV. I'm your host, Brandon Best. I'll see you guys when you come back.
When security matters most, choose Catch Security Services Limited. We are proudly approved by the Ministry of Homeland Security. We protect your home, business, community, and much more. Our services include professional baton and armed officers, specialized K-9 units, mobile patrols, secure cash pickups, secure transport, and pepper spray applications and supply coming soon. Don't wait. Secure your assets now. Contact Catch Security today. Call 622-6601, email info@cssl-tt.com, or visit our office at 30-32 Saddle Road, Maraval.
Hi, I'm Naka, introducing to you Bridging the Gap, where we touch on the news, discuss social issues and current affairs with a twist. Every Monday to Friday in real time, right here on Real TV.
I'm Smith. Have you ever wondered what a man is thinking? Have you ever wondered why a man does what he does? Well, join us on our new show called A Man's Perspective, right here on Real TV on Mondays 6 p.m. to 7:30 p.m., where we discuss just that. The points, the clues to get into a man's mind, right here on Real TV, bringing reality to you.
O'clock right here in beautiful Trinidad and Tobago. Welcome back to the first look. I'm your host Brandon Best right here on Real TV. Well guys, right before we took the break, we spoke about this shooting that happened in the US, and we're talking about education, we're talking about children, and on the line with me I have a principal of a Christian Primary Academy. I got Mrs. Maluna Grant on the line with me. Mrs. Maluna, how are you doing this morning?
Hello, good morning to you, Mr. Bass, and good morning to your viewers. I am blessed of the Lord. How are you?
I'm all right. It's a pleasure to have you on with us. So today we're talking about, our education, our children. Recently, as we saw a news article here of a shooting that happened in the school, taking the lives of 2 children and also wounding 9. Now, I want to find out from you firstly, firstly, compliments to the season. I pray that this Christmas season is going to be shaping up to be a good one for you. I know that school is out, so hopefully you get some rest. So a Merry Christmas in advance to you as well, right?
Thank you, and same to you and your listeners and viewers.
Thank you. So the first question I want to ask you, Mrs. Maluna, is when it comes to school safety, you being a principal of a school, how do you ensure the safety of your children? What are some of the things that you would do or even advise? You know, we've seen quite a number of incidences, and we do know that there would be some form of conflict even within the classroom and amongst the teachers and the children. But what do you do as a measure to help mitigate or keep the classroom safe or even keep the school environment safe during the terms?
Okay, beautiful. Thank you for asking that question. As you have said, I am principal at a Christian school, so you'll be very mindful that training children in the way that they ought to go is so very important. And sometimes persons may think that it's just from a Christian perspective, but training in itself is very important. Training is a sort of discipline that we give to children, giving them routines, setting expectations for them. And sadly, sometimes we may set expectations for our children personally in terms of things that we may want them to do in their own homes, but we fail to prepare them for how they interact with others. And so in terms of preparing them and helping them to be safe, at school we would set expectations for our children so that they are mindful of how they can work with other persons. In terms of physically, of course, you'd have school gates that are locked. We have systems in place where persons are not able to enter unless they check in with security. And so for us, it gives us a certain measure of safety. Our parents and our stakeholders understand that. So it means that no one comes onto compound without permission. And of course, that lock system is there for us. But what I do think is that we oftentimes forget that we need to train children or give those soft skills and understanding of who persons are, valuing life. There's so many concepts or things that are happening right now that persons may think is not necessary. Something as simple as the value of life. If we don't train persons to understand how valuable one person's life is, it's easy for them to take it.
Mrs. Maluna, thank you so much. I want to ask you as well. I heard you speak about, you know, that sensitivity and grooming of your children in a particular way. I mean, in this particular school in the U.S., you know, they said that this person was in their 30s. They were on the campus. What could we do, even in our own country, to help our children identify if somebody? It seems very, very strange. So, you know, somebody may come onto the compound and everybody's assuming, okay, this may be a parent or a friend or some neighbor. They may come onto the school's premise and really be perceived as okay. And while on the campus or while in the school, that's when they do their damage. How could we even help our children to identify or for their own safety, say, okay, this is somebody that is new. This is somebody that is strange. You know, we can't identify. What could we do even to help them, you know, when it comes to that form of protection as well?
For us at school, or just the persons in general, stranger danger is something that is important, something that we teach. However, we also have to be mindful that we encourage, and I'm hoping that I'm not straying from the point, but we encourage children to be so engaged sometimes in technology or in things that are happening in their personal space that they're not mindful of what's happening around them. So as simple as when our children may be traveling in their vehicles with us or in vehicles with us as parents, have them put down the phones, have them put down their devices and actually look around. actually take the time to tell our children, observe how person A, B, or C is behaving, how they appear. Of course, we don't want them to stigmatize any person or stereotype anyone per se, but conversations with our children about safety. For example, this incident has happened. Question how many persons are listening to the news, how many persons are encouraging their children to be aware of what is happening around them. The Christian perspective is to be in the world, but not of the world. However, we need to train our children to understand what the world looks like, how people are behaving, sensitize them even to this incident that has taken place. Another of our perspectives is Psalm 23, and I know a lot of persons would know that. Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil. So there's a certain amount of confidence that we actually need to build in our children, but a certain level of wisdom as well. So not approaching person that they do not know, staying with a group if they're in that group, and of course, creating safe adults that they can go to, security guard, if the security guard is at school, the teachers, even janitors and persons who clean and that sort of thing, because there are persons who are very aware of what's taking place on a compound. Sometimes we may think that it's just the teachers or just the teaching staff that may be aware of what's taking place, but the persons who clean and support, especially in the educational sphere, many times, those persons are even more aware of what's taking place. So even that, encouraging our children to build relationships in terms of manners, being pleasant, being polite, because after a while, they'll be able to build a certain amount of trust with persons. Persons may even look out for our children because
I like
they
that.
know.
I like that you said that as well. Well, Mrs. Maluna, we really appreciate your contributions this morning. In a couple seconds, because we're gonna go to the top, I just want you to give. I mean, it's Christmas season in the air as well. I just want you to give parents, just in as short as possible, briefly, children are home, school is out. What should your children be doing right now to help them prepare for the next school term?
Okay. They should be doing chores. They should be helping out at home. They should be away from the devices as much as possible. And of course, parents should be creating memories, because those memories are important. They will remember the things that we do with them. This is the things that we give to them. So as much as is possible, take time out of every day to spend with the children. Even if it means when you come home from work, you do something, you read a book with them, develop literacy, develop numeracy skills, and of course, soft skills, manners is not lost. It's still very, very important. And giving our children routines is what's going to help them. It's going to structure them, it's going to discipline them, and of course, they'll be less anxious when they're going out into the new school too. That's what I'd have to share today.
Well, Mrs. Maluna, we want to say thank you so much for your contribution. Thank you for the advice. You heard it right here. That's the principal of Christiana Primary Academy. We want to thank you so much for joining us and adding your voice in this space. Guys, we've got to keep our children protected in this season. And also, you heard her, the advice during the Christmas. Get your children to do some chores. Yes, Johnny, go and wash the ways. It's all right. You know, wash the ways. Full of little clothes, you know, it's okay. All right, so Ms. Maluna, we're going to say thank you so much for joining us right here on the First Look on Real TV. Guys, we're going to take a short break and come right back into our second hour where we do so much more to discuss as well. I'm your host, Brandon Best, and I'll see you guys when they come back. Thank you so much, Mrs. Maluna.
Hi, I'm Zalisa Budu Singh Rupani, and I'm inviting you to join me for Conversations with Zalisa right here on Real TV. It's not just another talk show, it's a space for real stories, real insight, and real impact. We cover it all: health, law, parenting, relationships, drug and substance abuse, mental health, social issues, and so much more, with expert guests who help bring clarity to life's most important questions. So whether you're looking to be informed, empowered, or simply inspired, this show is for you. Weekdays at 10 a.m. with repeats on Real TV.
Five minutes after the hour of 7 a.m. Guys, good morning to you. Welcome back to the first look right here on Real TV. I'm your host, Brandon Best. Dealing with a couple of serious issues in our first hour, quite a number of things that are happening in our country. And, we try our best right here on Real TV to keep you guys informed, to give you guys real information that's happening locally, regionally, and internationally. So when it comes to you getting all the information that you need, know that you can get it right here on the first look. We give you the first look, all right? But on a lighter note, I must say that it's nice to see our local ambassadors, like Young Brother. He said he celebrates children of Sealut. So it says, screeches of laughter echoed across the Sealut basketball court on December 14th as children darted between games, queued patiently for face painting and waited eagerly for toys and food. Supported by a corporate giant and in collaboration with one of the country's fastest rising local artists. The court hosted a young-centered celebration led by the Sealut Legacy Foundation, initially planned for about 250 children. As word spread throughout the community, attendance quickly swelled beyond expectations, with at least a couple hundred more children welcomed and entertained rather than turned away. Budding artist Young Brother took stage, performing several prominent tracks. Born and raised in Silas at 26 years old, he still lives within a stone's throw. This is where I grew up, so all my memories begin here. He said, growing up as a child, I didn't have plenty of opportunities. I couldn't wait to tell someone to come outside and throw a Christmas tree party. Yeah, so we got Young Brother doing some beautiful work with the children in Sea-Lots over the weekend. And you know, this is what we're talking about, guys. This is what being an ambassador is all about. You know, while it's good, we enjoy the music, we have fun, you know, carnivals around the corner, you have all the soca music, but sometimes we don't get to really, really shine some light and just give some flowers to the young people, the young ambassadors. They're doing some really good work. In this article, it says that they catered for 250 children, and a few hundreds more came out, and nobody was turned away. So, Young Brother, to all the work that you're doing, we want to say right here on Real TV, congratulations, and keep up the good work. We do appreciate all that you're doing to give back, even to your own community, and we pray that many take that example as well. You know, it's Christmas season, so we want to be able to stay and stay in that heart of giving and sharing and having it festive. We also see that Minister Sobers treats Tabaquite constituents for Christmas. So Tabaquite MP and Minister of Foreign and CARICOM Affairs, Sean Sobers, took on the role of Father Claus on Saturday. He distributing gifts, food, and treats to more than 1,000 children and families in his constituency. The annual Christmas outreach, supported by private donors and government assistance, aimed to bring relief and cheer to vulnerable residents during the holiday season. Sobers said the initiative grew with help from community members and businesses. Sobers also noted that the constituency received 250 food cards from Prime Minister Kamla Persad-Bissessar and Minister of the People's Social Development and Family Services, Vandana Mohit, which distributed to residents most in need. We want to ensure that on Christmas Day, even for that week and even beyond, that the little that we can give can go a very, very long way. He thanked the private sector partners and government agencies for their collaboration, describing the efforts as people-centered. So, I mean, this is really good work, and I think these are things that we can celebrate, and we can, you know, we can give a little clap for. So Minister Sobers, that is the MP of Foreign and CARICOM Affairs, we want to say thank you and good work to you, to all those families in Tabaquite that would have been blessed. Just about 1,000 children and families were blessed over the weekend as he took on the role of Father Claus. You see a picture here with him and Santa and a child as well. You know, that's good stuff, man. You know, I used to remember back in the day, it's like when you hear an ice cream truck, you know, you just get excited. I remember back in the day when you hear the little Santa Claus coming, you hear the music coming, and all you could do is get excited because you know that they come with a bag of gifts and things to hand out. And these are the type of things that we need to encourage to keep the spirit of our culture alive. And sometimes it's not just about Christmas, you know. It's about the fact that we are a loving people. It's about the fact that we are a people that love to give. We are people that love to be together, and we love to help, you know. The truth is that this is the true culture of who we are as a people in Trinidad and Tobago. And guess what? I want to say by extension, the Caribbean, because there's almost nowhere that I've traveled that I could go. If I land into Grenada right now, I guarantee I go and get something to eat. You know, you go to Jamaica, Barbados, Bermuda, you go to Antigua, Anguilla. You know, and big up Anguilla one time, because that's one place that I really enjoy when I traveled. You know, everywhere you go, you find beautiful people that want to be able to give. And sometimes we're just bound with all of the things that are happening in our life and the politics and the business and the trying to make it. But for this Christmas season, let's do something good. I think we should take pattern. I think this is a good place for us to truly identify some of the good work that is happening, not only with our artists and our ministers, but you don't have to be a public figure to do this as well. If all you have is $100 that you can spare, here's what. Go to the grocery, pick up a few items, and even if it's just one family that you can bless, you know you've done something good. I want to encourage us this Christmas. It may not be much that you could do, but if you could do a couple of hampers, you could just do our food. You could probably cook it all. You might be the biggest cook and chef in your community, and you know you have it. You might be able to do 5 bowls, 10 bowls, 100, you know, but if you're able to, there's somebody that is in need right now. And as we spoke yesterday about this being our hardest Christmas yet, you know, it doesn't have to end the way that it started. We get the opportunity, you know, to make sure that Granny down the street and Brother Boyo, somebody wants to know, it's a while since we call somebody Boyo boy. But you want to know that your brother John down the street and Tanty Maybelline down the road, you know, they're taken care of for the Christmas season. And that we ask and we look out for our neighbor. Sometimes it's good, go down the street and just ask your neighbor, how you doing? You all right? You know, how the Christmas shaping up? They may not have a ham. They may not have the black cake ready as yet. So I think it's good, you know, for us to pay attention, be our brother's keeper in this Christmas season. Let's be a little bit more festive, not only just to enjoy the music, not just to have our own things going together. And I know, trust me, I know of a young lady right now who is doing some exceptional work going across the country to do some interior decorations. I must say big up to Elegant Touch of Blessings. One time I've seen, just last night I saw a WhatsApp status with interior decorating, putting together the Christmas tree and the home, and whew, when I tell you, that is what it's called talent. So, you know, there's so much happening in this season, so much happening, but I want you guys to enjoy it. You may have just a board house, and that's okay. That's okay, because once you got family, you have somebody, you have a community, you have neighborhood. Guys, let's break down that wall of division. Let's break down that strife. Let's do our best to be able to push a culture that supports love, unity, and really care for our children, really care for our families in this season. Guys, we're going to take a short break and come right back. It's Christmas in the atmosphere. I'm excited. We just got about 9 more days to go. Good morning to you. I want you guys to wake up. It's just about 15 minutes after the hour of 7 o'clock. If you're up right now, that means you're getting ready to head down the road, or you may be in traffic or on the road already. I want to ensure that you get there safely. I'm your host, Brandon Best, and this is the first look on Real TV. Hey, I'll see you guys when we come back.
Every word, every line, every paragraph depicts a real moment in someone's life. A father, a sister, a mother, a brother. We at Newsday are dedicated to you, the people, and through independent, unwavering journalism, strive to always bring your stories to life. Because your stories are more than just words. Newsday, independent and credible.
This holiday, taste the season with Zoe and Nevi's Punch de Creme. Try our signature flavors, Holiday Gold, rich, creamy, and made for that classic Christmas taste. Festive Roast, smooth, bold coffee blended with that Caribbean holiday sweetness. Midnight Cocoa, chocolate lovers, this one's for you, indulgent and silky. And Twilight Mocha, the perfect mix of cocoa and coffee in every sip. Whether you're hosting, liming, or gifting, we've got you covered. Order now for delivery, pickup at select locations. Message us on Instagram at Zoe Nevi Products or WhatsApp us to place your order today. Zoe and Nevi Products, bring home the spirit of the holidays.
Construction Company Limited. Save big whilst building stronger. We build with our Macon innovative building systems, which provides high wind speed, earthquake, sea blast and fire resistance. Is thermally.
A 20 minutes after the hour of 7 o'clock, right here on The First Look on Real TV. I'm your host, Brandon Best. And guys, it is a beautiful Tuesday morning. Good morning to you guys, wherever you are. I hope you picked up your coffee, grab a snack, you know. You know, some persons, depending on the type of person that you are, you may be one that enjoys doubles in the morning. You may be somebody who dresses nice, you know, like a nice hot cup of tea. I know some people who just want, you know, a cup of chana alone. It's Christmas season, so some persons are already out trying to prepare their Christmas list, heading to the groceries that they can find just to be able to get their menus ready together. I don't know about you, but it's possible that you may be out on the road in this busy season as well. Many Christmas events happening in the corporate world and also functions around the country. So there's quite a number of things to attend. There are a lot of things to go to, a lot that is happening. Hey guys, don't forget, if you want to connect with us and give us a call to chime in on any of our conversations this morning, you can give us a call at 744-7325, all right, as we discuss some more matters. Guys, I'm going to touch on something here. Found very interesting. So we see the mayor of the People's National Movement controlled Arima Corporation, Mr. Baliram Maharaj. He says he has done nothing wrong in attending last Saturday's United National Congress fundraiser function, and he's looking forward to his retirement from business and spending time with his grandchildren. I've been in the business for 67 years, and many reach out. Maharaj said yesterday. He added that the 2 years he had agreed to being mayor were up, and he is serving out the next 20 months until the end of the local government term. Maharaj, who is 83 years old, heads to the Maharaj Group of Companies. He was appointed mayor in 2023. I feel as though I agree with him. I agree with him. I think, you know, nothing is wrong. Nothing is wrong. Yes, he may be a PNM mayor, but hey, he's going to support, he's going to a funeral, rather a fundraising function, and he's just attending. You know, I think as a citizen of Trinidad and Tobago, you have the ability to, you know, attend events. You may be invited, and this is where, as a country, we really have to become, you know, just, I guess we need to, how to put this, boy, in the best way possible. We need to grow up, guys. You know, we need to. Our country is dealing with more serious matters. And when it comes to, you know, if, you know, a mayor attends a fundraising function, there should be no kick-up over that. We need to get better, you know. This is not only for our political leaders, but also for the state of our economy. Because I could imagine even citizens being upset as, why are you attending that? Why are you attending that, guys? The more that we create this divide, the more that we push this narrative that we can't function as a united country, then it is the worst that we're going to experience, because we're not going to get the best out of it. Listen to me. You're going to have, you may have your choices. You may be voting either way. That is your responsibility as a citizen. But regardless of what happens, whoever is the government of the day, that's the leader in the country right now. If they have a function and some members of the PNM want to go and support, well, go ahead and support. Most important is what they do when they have to represent you, when they go to parliament, when they have to make decisions, when they have to write policy. Are they going to be your voice? Are they going to help to ensure that what is drafted inside of the parliament is going to be for your benefit? Decisions made about the city is going to be in your benefit. Those are when the matters or the problems or the issues matter the most. But I mean, I would have go to the fundraiser myself, and I'm sure the food was nice too. You know, I'm sure it was good. So I think, you know, and at his age, 83 years old, he has served so much. As he said, he's just waiting for his retirement. And I think, you know, there comes a point in life where you get beyond this, you know. You get beyond what may be considered a little bit too petty. And I think we need to take ourselves and take our country more seriously. And, you know, these are not the things that we need to fight over, and these are not the issues that we want to be bringing up. So I would say, give the mayor a chance. Let him attend all the Christmas functions that he wants to. If the UNC has Christmas events all over, you know, just give him a chance. Let him enjoy himself. He wants to just simply work out the rest of his term. As long as he's doing a good job, you know, continue to give him that support. So, I mean, it's different times that we live in, but I think we want to be able to make it serious, all right? After 8 months in office, Junior Minister Philip Alexander, Clyde Elder, and Ernesto Casar say their work across housing, public utilities, and the energy has been defined by intense preparation, problem solving, and a focus on delivering tangible improvements to citizens' lives. Speaking in separate interviews with Guardian, the three ministers outlined the realities they inherited on entering government, the challenges they face, and how their respective roles are contributing to national recovery development. So we see that the young minister is reflecting on all that they've been doing in the past 8 months. And we want to say we look forward to it as a public. I know that the housing environment is one that is a big issue. And some people may ask the question, you know, why is it that housing is such a big problem in our country? with so much land and so much developments that have already been built. So many people have been waiting for years. This has nothing to do with the government of the day. It has nothing to do with the UNCDP&M, COP, none of it. All it has to do with the deliverables of houses. Many people for years have been on their list going back. Every time the election calls, they're coming back to the drawing board with their reference number, going to the HDC, asking about homes, telling their issues, and they're still waiting, to get just some affordable housing or just to get a place to live. And I feel as though, every election and every season, there is some expectation that something good is going to happen. So we allow the ministers and the Senator Philip Alexander and his team, we look forward to see what they have in store. As they said that the first 8 months was marked with preparation. So let's hope that in 2026 we can see execution, and let's see if we see a lot more persons getting through with housing. We see a lot more persons getting their families together, and we pray that the situation can finally, for once in our country, be resolved. Because I tell you, I think if there's one thing that could create a lot of depression in our society, is people when they're looking for a place to stay. And I think shelter is one of those things that it's a responsibility of the government, but it's also a natural need that we must have. And we can't take those things lightly. Just to have food, shelter, and clothing. These are some of the basics that we must have to survive and to have a good life. So we do look forward to the work that is happening, and we do pray that what is to come is good. So let's stay hopeful. For sure we're going to give you all the information right here on the first look, and we're going to ensure that you get all the information for everything that is coming up in the new season. Guys, we're going to take a short break and come right back. And when we do, we're going to jump into some conversations. I see we have some big issues happening here with this $40 million answer bank issue. We're going to look at some of that as we come back. So you guys are on the first look. I'm your host, Brandon Best. You are on Real TV. Be sure to connect with us Monday to Friday, 6 to 8:30 a.m. as we give you real conversations, real news, real issues, and real solutions right here on the first look. I'll see you when we come back.
Macon Construction Company Limited. Save big whilst building stronger. We build with our Macon innovative building systems, which provides high wind speed, earthquake, sea blast and fire resistance. Is thermally and acoustically insulated. Provides improved construction timelines and cost savings. We provide construction services from design to finish and everything in between. Macon Construction Company Limited. Building green today with tomorrow's technology. Contact or visit us today.
Are you reliable, self-motivated, a good communicator, and experienced in sales? Then Good Price Wholesalers is the right opportunity for you. We are looking for individuals to join our sales team in Central and South. Applicants must have their own vehicle, sales experience, good communication skills, and a strong work ethic. If you're ready to be part of a committed and professional team, we want to hear from you. Visit us at number 5 La Pastora Road, Santa Cruz, or call 338-9884 for serious enquiries.
Hi, I'm Zalisa Budusing Rupani, and I'm inviting you to join me for Conversations with Zalisa right here on Real TV. It's not just another talk show, it's a space for real stories, real insight, and real impact. We cover it all: health, law, parenting, relationships, drug and substance abuse, mental health, social issues, and so much more, with expert guests who help bring clarity to life's most important questions. So whether you're looking to be informed, empowered, or simply inspired, this show is for you. Weekdays at 10 a.m. with repeats on Real TV.
When security matters most, choose Catch Security Services Limited. We are proudly approved by the Ministry of Homeland Security.
Hey, welcome back to the first look. I'm your host, Brandon Best. It's just about 27 minutes to the upswing of 8 a.m. here in Trinidad and Tobago. Guys, don't forget, it's Christmas in the air. Shopping is happening. Yesterday, when I had a conversation with you guys, I told you all that the South businessmen, they were speaking about how they are doing their best to reduce costs, so to encourage you guys to purchase. So I do hope that you guys take up the opportunity to go down to High Street, Port of Spain, go check out all of the businesses around the East-West Corridor, Central, and ensure that you give them that support. All right, don't forget, businesses are a part of the fabric of our economy. There's no mindset that we should have that says, we can't support our businessmen because we need them. Their families depend on them as well. So you go shop, go support their businesses, and ensure that everything is good for your Christmas season as you get ready. I want to say that I've seen some really nice decorations thus far for Christmas. I mentioned one earlier today. And also, when you get a chance to drive around, in those places in San Fernando, in Gulf City, in Valsayn, you really want to thank God for those families who put those nice decorations out there for you guys to go ahead and take your pictures. I've gone recently, took some of the kids out, go check out some of the places, and it was really nice. And I think it's something that, it's part of our tradition. So if you guys could light up your community, make it look nice, it's good. It helps just to inspire a nice, fun, loving environment when you are here and going around the Christmas season. Well, we're going to go back to some international news. And this one, very similar to what we saw earlier at Brown University. We saw a university shooting, but now in Bondi Beach in Sydney, Australia, there was also a mass shooting. We don't know what's happening. I really can't. And so all those who are watching me across the world, across the region, this is something that we really need to take seriously and really pay attention to. All right. So a mass shooting at Bondi Beach in Sydney has resulted in at least 12 fatalities and numerous injuries, marking one of Australia's deadliest shootings incidents. On December 14th, 2025, a shooting occurred at Bondi Beach during a Jewish community event known as Chanukah by the Sea. The incident began around 6:45 p.m. When two gunmen opened fire from a bridge overlooking the beach, targeting a crowd of families and attendees celebrating the Jewish festival of Hanukkah. Eyewitnesses described the scene as chaotic and chaos as people fled the area in panic. The fatalities, we have 12 persons confirmed dead, including one of the gunmen, while another suspect is in critical condition. So at least we know that the assailants have somewhat been, detained, or well, unfortunately one has lost their life as well. Approximately 29 individuals were injured, including 2 police officers and a child. Tragic. A bystander identified as Ahmed Al-Ahmed was praised for his bravery in disarming one of the shooters, potentially preventing further casualties. Authorities have classified the shooting as a terrorist incident, indicating that this was a targeted attack against the Jewish community this incident has raised concerns about safety and security, particularly for minority communities in Australia. Police are actively investigating the backgrounds of the shooters and have conducted raids in connection with the incident. Man, this is a dark time. Yeah, this is a dark time, it's a dark season, because in other words, I think this is what you kind of call like xenophobia, a bit. When somebody would take the opportunity to kind of attack a group of people, especially with either, this type of, either their culture, their race, their religious background. But the fact that someone will take a gun, and it wasn't just one person, there were two persons that would take a rifle and a gun and go and literally attack the families of persons celebrating their Jewish time. This season is Hanukkah. The Jews in particular don't really celebrate Christmas the way that we know. So they would have their Hanukkah celebrations. And I mean, that's okay. That is their celebrations. And to have someone come into that, could you imagine being in a mosque or in a church or even in a temple, and someone so run into the temple and just start shooting? And this happened at the Bondi Beach in Australia. So it wasn't just simply those that were there, but even some bystanders as well. 29 other persons were injured. So I think that we need to, I look forward to seeing what would be the developments of this, and we do say condolences to the families across the world. All of you out there in Australia, we send our condolences and our love and our strength and our support right here from Trinidad and Tobago and the Caribbean. And we are grateful with the authorities that they were able to still detain the other suspect and assailant, one being also now dead. This is we really need to pray. I really need to trust that in this season, men across the world, people across the world, really get together, because it is hard. It's hard to live in a world where you feel unsafe and it's unsure. You don't know what's going to happen, and you don't know at what point in time, a mass shooter could just appear, jump out, and something happens. It's really, really sad. Well, we got some news that was really, really big. I saw this happening on social media as well, and we started to hear the conversation about it. Now we're hearing a lot more. A former employee of Answer Bank at the center of a $30 million fraudulent loan conspiracy, which involves a group of foreign used car dealers, has been ordered to repay more than half the money the bank was defrauded of. Late last month, High Court Judge Frank C. Prasad upheld the bank's multifaceted case against its former business development officer, Dwayne Rojas. However, he only assessed the appropriate compensation to be paid by Rojas and the used cars dealers during a hearing yesterday. Explaining his decision, Justice C. Prasad ordered Rojas to pay the bank $16 million in compensation. The court holds the view that the claimant is entitled to damages in the amount of the loans which were approved or processed by him, less payments made thereto, inclusive of interest. He was also ordered to pay the bank $316,000 in legal costs. Justice C. Prasad also assessed the compensation to be paid by 5 used car dealers who the bank obtained default judgments against last year. Cylon Marketing Limited was ordered to pay $6.2 million, while Jolex Auto Limited was ordered to pay $11 million. Miva Import Consultancy, Diamond Conception Co. Limited, and its Deal Limited were ordered to pay $4,389,000 and $837,000 respectively. They were also ordered to pay significant legal costs, which were proportionate to the compensation ordered against them. So, I mean, big things when it comes to that case. And I mean, it kind of begs the question, right? Because it's very difficult for some people to just walk into the bank and get a loan in the first place. And then you have these companies, these big organizations who are able to just go to the bank and acquire, $30 million, $40 million in loans to do their business. And you have the young entrepreneur, school student, the businessman who has writing up documents and documents and documents just to be able to convince the bank to give them an opportunity to have, to get a loan. And then you have officers within the bank. Now, this has nothing to do with Answer Bank because we know that, people do things, and that's why the case is against them, this individual and the bank. But it just begs the question, are we living in a society where these things are not just happening, not just in Answer, but maybe other banks? And, is it a case of who we know? Is a case of, well, you will get through, that one will get through, this will get through, but, these people have to, suffer more. And, there's high-level fraud that is taking place within the banks, and then you wonder, how this person is getting through. I think that this is something that, should actually shine a light on the operations and what's happening inside of our local banks. And, we should pay attention to it because it could bring some questions further. How long has this been going on? How long it took before they were able to find it out? How come they were able to have so many companies involved? Really, this seemed to be something that's very, very intricate. And even the ruling thus far, so far just speaking about the repayment terms. Still looking to see if there are more judgments coming out of that. If there are going to be any additional things happening, but thus far we do see that they were tasked to make their repayments. One can argue, as a normal citizen, if this was $20,000, probably with a smaller individual, the weight of how that person would have been judged, or even how the case may have flown, may have been different. But in this regard, the tone comes across with a bit of leniency, and we'll do some more digging, and we look forward to hear a lot more on it. But yeah, you understand what I mean? Yeah. So we look forward to some more of those reports as it comes along. I do hope that you, however, you're being financially smart in this season. Especially on Facebook right now, there's so many things that are happening. Meeting up with people to buy products and items, and when you get there, you're collecting a bag of cut up paper. It is a scary time, and we should ask the question: is it that our country is in desperation? What is happening with our economy that is driving people to be so rampant? But here's what. All we could do right now is hope for the best. We're going to look forward to having conversations with our Commissioner of Police, our Homeland Security officers and ministers, and those that can help us when it comes to the criminal elements, and even those who may be drawn to criminality, because there may be a season where you even have decent people, law-abiding people, who they become so desperate, so their situation really, really changes them. We can look at having some conversations, even with some criminal psychologists, to see how we can help as an economy to prevent any of these things from further spiraling into our public space. Guys, we're going to take a short break and come right back. This is The First Look. I'm your host, Brandon Best, right here on Real TV, giving you guys all the information, local, regional, and international. Later on this week, I have something exciting for you guys. We're going to start off our brand new segment. It's going to be starting right around now from 7:45 to 8:30. We're going to have Chowtainment, where we sit some guests down and ask them some 10 fiery questions while they eat 10 fiery chows. Yeah, so I'm excited about that this Friday as we come. It's Christmas in the atmosphere. 9 more days to go. You are all The First Look. I'll see you guys when we come back.
When security matters most, choose Catch Security Services Limited. We are proudly approved by the Ministry of Homeland Security. We protect your home, business, community, and much more. Our services include professional baton and armed officers, specialized K-9 units, mobile patrols, secure cash pickups, secure transport, and pepper spray applications and supply coming soon. Don't wait. Secure your assets now. Contact Catch Security today. Call 622-6601, email info@cssl-tt.com, or visit our office at 30-32 Saddle Road, Maraval.
Hi, I'm Naka, introducing to you Bridging the Gap, where we touch on the news, discuss social issues and current affairs with a twist. Every Monday to Friday in real time, right here on Real TV.
Hi, I'm Zalisa Budu Singh Rupani, and I'm inviting you to join.
Hey, welcome back to the first look. It's just about 11 minutes to the upswing of 8 a.m. You guys should be already almost on the road. Or if you're not almost at your workplace, I look forward to, I'm hoping that you are close. And if you're not, if you're now joining us this morning, that means that you're running late. So guys, get ready, get up, let's go. Today on the first look, you know, we touched on quite a number of issues, seeing some issues happening in the waters, our own waters right here. We heard the conversation of a Prime Minister allowing the U.S., you know, to set up some ports in our seas. We had some conversations as well, looking at young people. There was a shooting happening in the Brownie School. A lot that's going on around the world, a lot that is happening in our region and in our country. But I also want to talk about some young people, man. So we got youths, their voices have taken center stage at Boca's Spoken Word Intercall Finals. So a dramatic take on the impact of artificial intelligence on creativity won first place at the 2025 Boca's Spoken Word Intercalls Finals on December 10th. 16-year-old Amaru Johnson of Naparima Bowls College, San Fernando, emerged as the Intercall champion with a gripping performance of Are You Another Reporter, earning a cash prize of $5,000 plus a donation to his school library. Kamani of El Dorado East Secondary School placed second with his piece, Mediocrity is the Poison to Success. What? You see some of these topics, boy? I had to bring some of these youths here. We need to get some of these young people here. This is a beautiful, beautiful topic. It says poison to success. Mediocrity is the poison to success. Winning $2,500 and a donation to his school library, followed by Megan Perry of Bishop's High School, Tobago, whose piece, Tobago Obstructed View, won her third place of $1,500 and a donation to her school library, said media release. hosted by the Bocas Lit Fest at San Fernando City Hall. The Bocas Spoken Word Intercal Finals marked the culmination of a nationwide spoken word pilot program dedicated to developing, showcasing, and amplifying the voices of young poets across Trinidad and Tobago. The Intercal was preceded by the We Lit School Tour, which visited 11 schools and reached over 600 students across Trinidad and Tobago. Yeah, so we want to say congratulations to those 3 young people. We have Kamani winning, as well as we have Megan as doing their thing on this time of the Bocas Spoken Word Man. You know, I like the topics. I really like the topics. I love what their conversations are. And I'm really interested to hear them come, probably share some with us. And let's get a little taste of what that experience was like, because I am certain it was amazing. I'm one of those guys that enjoys poetry. I enjoy, spoken word. I love those Bocas festivals as well. I would generally go to attend and support. So I would encourage you young people, if you have a talent and you're in the creative field as well, I want to encourage you to really, really go after it. You never know when the opportunity may arise. You may never know when your turning point may be. You might just be a speaker, just like I am. And if I were to tell you, growing up in school, I would have never thought that one day I'd probably be on television. Always singing, always doing music, but not necessarily knowing that you'll be on TV. But after time of you utilizing a gift that you probably want to use for entertainment purposes, or even being a character in your school, you never know. These are small little gifts that God gives you, and while you develop them, an opportunity comes your way, and then you become the prize winner of something that is beautiful. So all the children, I know you guys are home. I want to remind you, we did speak with Mrs. Maluna Grant earlier today, and she gave us some tips for the children while they're home. Do all your chores. All right? Today is Johnny's day. Tomorrow is Kelly's day. Ensure that you all take all your turns. Please do the chores. Take some time. Read your work. Study a little bit in advance. And also, she's talked about manners and socializing, ensuring that children, they're not just simply just at home, but they're interacting with people, but learning those social cues over the season, so that they're not just simply dealing with people and their emotions in a rough manner. And also, the device consumption. I feel this one is a heavy one, because being a parent myself, we understand. It's tough. Sometimes you become overwhelmed. You just came home from work. These children have energy for days. It's difficult because, they're out of school, but you're tired. And the first thing that you may want to do, just to get a little peace and quiet, is you take the phone, you take the tablet, and you say, hey, hold that. But that is not good. We need to take some of that devices away from them so that they get to socialize the right way. Nothing is wrong with it. Nothing is wrong with giving them the device. Nothing is wrong with giving them an opportunity to utilize it. But I think, we just need to manage our consumption and how we give it to them, and monitor them in this season as well. All right. So we want our children to make sure that they're developing good and growing well. Guys, it is a beautiful time right here in Trinidad and Tobago. And you know what? The caravans continue because Digicel, they went out there and they have been carrying so many treats around the country. So I want you guys to know, look out for them as they're coming through. We also got some more entertainers as well that are coming around your community to give you guys some hope and some love. Don't forget, we also have some events Christmas-themed events as well. You may know of some of them in Queen's Hall, like the John Thomas Believe. A lot of activity happening within our country. So guys, I want you guys to stay tuned. We're going to take a short break and come right back. And when we do, we're going to come back and get ready to wrap this up in our final half. And don't forget, we're going to get ready for this week and this weekend. Lots to do, lots to enjoy. We're going to turn this program up as we go continue throughout the week. So stay watching The First Look right here on Real TV. I'm your host, Brandon Best. I'll see you guys when we come back.
Hi, I'm Zalisa Budu Singh Rupani, and I'm inviting you to join me for Conversations with Zalisa right here on Real TV. It's not just another talk show, it's a space for real stories, real insight, and real impact. We cover it all: health, law, parenting, relationships, drug and substance abuse, mental health, social issues, and so much more, with expert guests who help bring clarity to life's most important questions. So whether you're looking to be informed, empowered, or simply inspired, this show is for you. Weekdays at 10 a.m. with repeats on Real TV.
Hi, I'm Steve Stanker, Transformational Life Coach. Join me on Elevate with Coach Steve as we transform your mindset, build mental and emotional resilience, and help you rise into your best self. Every Tuesday from 9 a.m. right here on Real TV. Let's elevate together.
Ready to take your sales career to the next level? If you have a passion for connecting with clients, building meaningful relationships, and delivering results, we want you on our team. Join a dynamic, motivated environment where your experience matters, your ideas are valued, and your drive defines your success. Step into a role with real opportunity. Join the sales team at Real TV, where your future begins.
Call us today at 2926470 or WhatsApp us at 3847142. You can also send an email to realtv.corporate@gmail.com.
Hi, I'm Zalisa Budu Singh Rupani, and I'm inviting you to join me for Conversations with Zalisa right here on Real TV. It's not just another talk show, it's a space for real stories, real insight, and real impact. We cover it all: health, law, parenting, relationships, drug and substance abuse, mental health, social issues, and so much more, with expert guests who help bring clarity to life's most important questions. So whether you're looking to be informed, empowered, or simply inspired, this show is for you. Weekdays at 10 a.m. with repeats on Real TV.
We almost had a dead air collision up here. A U.S. Air Force aerial refueling tanker almost collided with a JetBlue plane just off the coast of Venezuela, according to a recording of a pilot's conversation with air traffic control. The flight took off from Curacao and was headed to New York's JFK. In audio from air traffic control, you can hear a JetBlue pilot report the incident.
Sir, we just had traffic pass directly in front of us within 5 miles of us, maybe 2-3 miles, but it was an air-to-air refueler from the United States Air Force, and he was at our altitude. We had to stop our climb. They're heading off to the northeast right now. They passed directly in our flight path. We had to stop our climb. They are not painting. They don't have their transponder turned on. It's outrageous.
This comes as the U.S. military has stepped up its anti-drug trafficking campaign in the Caribbean.
Yes, I don't have anything on my scope. But there's been outrageous with the unidentified aircraft within our airspace. You are totally right, sir.
Well, I apologize. If you can make a note of it, we almost had a mid-air collision up here.
A spokesperson for JetBlue said, quote, "We have reported this incident to federal authorities and will participate in any investigation. Our crew members are trained on proper procedures for various flight situations, and we appreciate our crew for promptly reporting this situation to our leadership team." CNN reached out to the U.S. Air Force for comment and was directed to U.S. Southern Command, who said they were reviewing the matter. They said safety remains a top priority. Last month, the FAA issued a warning to U.S. aircraft urging them to exercise caution when in Venezuelan airspace, quote, due to the worsening security situation and heightened military activity in or around Venezuela.
Well, boy, that is some development there. So I think this is something that we really need to pay attention to. Welcome back. This is the first look right here on Real TV. Guys, we are just about 4 minutes after the hour of 8 o'clock. And we're almost getting ready to the end of our show. But you saw what happened there. There was an aircraft that came into the space. It's a U.S. aircraft, unidentified. But it came in also to the flight path of the JetBlue plane that I'm certain was also carrying passengers during the exercises. Now, here's the issue that we may find. This could become potentially problematic when planes are flying in and out and you have airlines moving people to and from Trinidad and Tobago. Remember, we are a spot that a lot of people travel from and travel to. And because of that, you put pilots in situations where, you know, as the video said, the pilot saying that we almost had a mid-air collision. That is a very unsafe thing to do. So they would have asked, sent some reports to the U.S., and they said that they're going to investigate it. But I think that this is something that we need to really pay attention to. We need to get some answers. How do we even, from the country's point of view, and even with our government, you know, what could we do to help ensure that even our pilots, those that are traveling, to ensure that our airspace is going to be safe? When we're going through traveling the world, are we going to be okay during the season? Do we have to be concerned that something can happen in the air, that our pilots may have to make some drastic decisions that could cost us our safety, our lives? Our pilots going to have to now become a lot more aware and trained from maybe even a more difficult situation. War. We need to know, because that will become an issue in our country. So I'm watching that there, and truly there's something a little bit troubling that is happening that within your spirit, honestly, because you know, this is a beautiful island. The Caribbean is a beautiful place. So this type of heavy activity back and forth could become very daunting, and especially for those that want to travel. And you know, it's Christmas season. People want to get to go see their family. You know, it's not the type of thing that you want to know is happening in the air. And I think there was a lot of irresponsibility from that pilot or that crew. If it is that it came from the U.S. or not, we are yet to determine. They have to give a review and give back some feedback On that, however, I think that there was a little bit of a responsibility, because in this time that we're living in, especially when your work is being done within the waters of a country, that is still much open for activity, very much open for trade, very much open for travel. I think that there needs to be a lot more concern given to that situation. I want to thank God and commend the pilots of JetBlue for their quick response, their quick reporting, to let people know quickly about what is happening, to get to their command center to ensure that, you know, things will well put in place and they can be guided accordingly, because we don't know if that could have turned out differently, and we're happy that nothing of the sort took place. So JetBlue and the pilots and your team, we want to say, you know, kudos to you for doing an exceptional job out there. Guys, it is literally just 9 more days to Christmas, and you know, we have, the rush is going to be on, and I think it's important as we go out into the public space and we start to shop. I want to remind you guys, you know, just be cautious, just, you know, be careful as you go on the road, be mindful of your surrounding, be mindful of your children. You know, you may be going to an event, it may be a Christmas event, it may be a function as well. You know, make sure to keep them close. I have a young one as well, so you know, they tend to become, they can run up and down, going all over the place. I really want you guys to pay attention to your family members in this season. I also want you to encourage you all to check up on the elderly. I saw some reports earlier this week just talking about the elderly, and there's an event coming up very soon. I'll tell you guys about that one. We're going to be going to some of those elderly homes to support them even in this Christmas season, because guess what? Some of our elders, they do feel alone during the Christmas season. There's some, you know, that the family will come and spend time with them, but there are some that are in homes. And in the Christmas season, sometimes the visitation isn't as much. You know, people, they have their lives going on. So we forget our elders. We forget that they too want human interaction. They too, they're looking forward to somebody to come and spend Christmas with them, to shake a hand with them, just to sit down and have a conversation. Sometimes it's good, just drink a cup of tea, rock back and hear granny talk. You know, and for those that are fortunate to have their grandparents with them in the land of the living, I want to encourage you, go spend some time. Help them pull down the curtain, clean and paint the house. I had a conversation with someone yesterday, and he said to me, you know, yes, he was very happy to get 2 days home from work. But unfortunately, you know, this is the season where if you're home from your government job, you are at your personal job, because the house cleaning don't done. I'm sure you all done pull out everything in the bedroom already. The living room is now the bedroom, because we're cleaning out the bedroom, changing curtains, and then, you know, the kitchen will become the living room, because we're going to clean the living room, and then, you know how it is sorted out. You say, boy, them 2 days, it really turned out to be too much of 2 days. So all the ladies out there, please, get the men a little ease up. You know, they're doing their best, they're working hard. Yes, they're going to paint it. I know you're seeing that wall. I know the wall half painted right now. They go in and they go paint it. Or if it's blue, if it's red, if it's green, you know, they're going to get it for you and have it sorted, all right? So you guys get excited for this Christmas season. Just to give you guys some tips and just some advice as you go out, let's make this Christmas merry again, and let's have a beautiful time in this wonderful country. Guys, we're going to take a short break, and when we come back, we're just going to tidy this thing together and wrap up, and then we're out of here. So I want to say again, good morning to you. I hope that you're already on your way to work. I hope that you're already there, you're settled in, and if you are not, I pray that you're on your way and you're going to be there soon. Good morning to all of our businesses that are locked on, all of our viewers across the region. We want to thank you guys again so much for watching The First Look. I am your host, Brandon Best, right here on Real TV, and we are going to see you soon when we come back.
Ready to take your sales career to the next level? If you have a passion for connecting with clients, building meaningful relationships, and delivering results, we want you on our team. Join a dynamic, motivated environment where your experience matters. Your ideas are valued, and your drive defines your success. Step into a role with real opportunity. Join the sales team at Real TV, where your future begins.
Call us today at 2926470 or WhatsApp us at 3847142. You can also send an email to realtv.corporate@gmail.com.
Hi, I'm Zalisa Budu Singh Rupani, and I'm inviting you to join me for Conversations with Zalisa right here on Real TV. It's not just another talk show, it's a space for real stories, real insight, and real impact. We cover it all: health, law, parenting, relationships, drug and substance abuse, mental health, social issues, and so much more, with expert guests who help bring clarity to life's most important questions. So whether you're looking to be informed, empowered, or simply inspired, this show is for you. Weekdays at 10 a.m. with repeats on Real TV.
Hi, I'm Steve Stanker, Transformational Life Coach. Join me on Elevate with Coach Steve as we transform your mindset, build mental and emotional resilience, and help you rise into your best self. Every Tuesday from 9 a.m. right here on Real TV. Let's elevate together.
Hey guys, welcome back to the first look. I am your host, Brandon Best, right here on Real TV. It's just about 15 minutes after the hour of 8 o'clock. And guys, we're just going to recap a lot of all that we discussed today. A lot of information shared on this Tuesday, Don't forget, we spoke about the U.S., Trinidad and Tobago allowing the U.S. military to transit within our airports. This became a big conversation between Venezuela and some comments they had about the Prime Minister, whether or not she's encouraging some things on the seas, but we're going to see how those things develop. Also, the police is saying that Port of Spain is safe, especially as you go through this Christmas after the shooting of Jelani George of Mova in Port of Spain. He's saying that the streets of Port of Spain are still very much safe. So I want to say thank you to the TTPS. If you do have to go out and shop, note, you're going to see some police presence. You're going to see some, some support. I do remember the incident, as it was brought to me, of the incident in the maxi taxi where there was the robberies. And I have seen some videos on social media showing some police officers, on the bus route actually riding the buses. They're taking some stops, coming off, jumping onto the next one and riding the buses. And I mean, it's good to know that we have such a proactive approach. They're doing the best that they can. Obviously, it's very difficult, to be everywhere at the same time. We only have so many officers available. It's only so much that they can do to help protect the citizens of this country. But, we really want to know that this Christmas will be a safe Christmas. And, we have a message to the criminal elements. Here's what. at Real TV, we want to let you know that our country will not bend. We will not stoop, and that we will not cower in fear. Trinidad and Tobago and the Caribbean at large are strong people. We're filled with hope and vibrancy, and we will not allow our country to be taken over by criminal elements. So I want you to know that if you feel as though today was your day that you won, you won't win forever. All right, this is a strong nation and we are strong people, and we're going to get through this, and we're going to be very safe, not just for Christmas, but for Carnival and also for the year 2026. We look forward to more developments as pertains to crime and safety in our country. Don't forget as well, Shell Aphrodite gas project is on the way, promising to deliver 18,400 barrels of oil equivalent per day. However, they can't move forward until they present the government, the government with that development plan for the energy producer. So we hope that that is done quickly. We hope that that is delivered well, and we can see some changes happening there. Also, some news as well that we looked at today. We saw the ruling concerning the 30 million case with Anthony McCall, the former bank employee. We have the business community speaking about the financial situation and considering that things may have worsened, but more so just asking the government just to give them more conversation and clarity. So on their policies, they're asking for more sit-downs. Let's chat a little bit as a business community. Let's talk. Let's get into proper dialogue so that everything that's happening, we can be clear on, so that we can be able to more effectively run business within this country of Trinidad and Tobago. Also, Junior Minister Philip Alexander and his team have reported on their preparation over the last 8 months. So we look forward to seeing some great development in 2026 in the housing department and the ministry. Let's see if some persons are going to get through with some homes next year, and we'll be celebrating in 2026 as well. All right, so we also had the PNM mayor who said that, he doesn't feel anyhow for attending the fundraiser by the UNC. And, I agree with him. Let him go to the fundraiser, enjoy himself. I hope he had a fun time there as well. So in some lighter news, a young brother had his celebration in Sea Lots, bringing out hundreds of young people and giving them gifts and entertaining them right in his home community. We also had Minister Sean Sobers as well, going out to Tabaquite and giving 1,000 hampers and distributing to 1,000 families in Tabaquite over the weekend. And Digicel as well, going across the communities to bless their customers and the clients around Trinidad and Tobago. So, really good stuff happening. We also had some sad international news today, looking at both shootings. We had a shooting in a school in the US, and then also a mass shooting in Australia. So something is in the air. Yes, something is in the air, and we pray that that wind doesn't pass to the Caribbean or to Trinidad as well, but to ensure that we take notice, we take note of what we want to ensure doesn't happen at home. But we pray for all those families and say condolences and send out love, and in any way that we could probably support, I pray that we be lending a hand as well. Don't forget, South businessmen have said to you guys, prices are dropped. They're doing their best, guys, to ensure that you come out and support and purchase. So I look forward to seeing you guys heading out to the streets, High Street, San Fernando, Port of Spain, East-West Corridor. Go get your stuff. If you're one of those persons who cannot see the same curtain up every Christmas, well, you should be out there getting your new curtain then. All right, because it's time for it to change. I know some persons get ready for the last minute. I don't know why we do this as Trinidad and Tobagonians, we go to this last minute, get ready for Christmas. On Christmas Eve is the most amount of work ever. Everybody in the house tired. By the time you wake up on Christmas morning, you're excited for the food, but by 12 o'clock, you're so bad. Yes, as we just say, you're so tired, you can't make it through the next day. So when it's time for parang, you know you don't have any more energy to give. So I pray that you guys, let's get a head start on our cleaning, a head start on our painting, a head start on our cooking. All the bacon ham, all the black cake, we're looking forward to it on this Christmas season. Don't forget, we also had that conversation with the principal of the Christian Primary Academy, Mrs. Maluna Grant, who gave us some insight on our children's safety in the educational sector, and also some tips as they stay home for this Christmas season, some things that they can do that we can help prepare them into the next season and ensure that they are developing well. So much things and more is happening within our country. Guys, I want to remind you, this is our second day here on The First Look, right here on Real TV. And it has been a tremendous pleasure just to be here to share information, real insight, real news, real conversations with you. We do look forward to a wonderful start of a beautiful relationship as we identify conversations, as we speak and as I represent the voice and your voice, as we look at all the things that matter and we speak to all those that are important concerning those matters as well. I'm your brother, I'm your friend. I'm here with you guys every weekday, 6 to 8:30 a.m. as you go through the news locally, regionally, and internationally, current events, all that is happening. We look forward to having some persons passing through. Don't forget, Friday is going to be an exciting one. So let's get ready for that showtainment. And I'm excited to be with you right here on The First Look on Real TV. Hey guys, we're going to get ready to see you guys tomorrow. I know you guys are heading out to work. Your day is probably already started. So I ensure that everything is put in place, children are already organized, and that you guys have a fantastic day today. It was a pleasure being your host. It was wonderful being here with you. And I'll see you guys tomorrow, right here on The First Look on Real TV. See you guys tomorrow, man.
This is Senator David Nackett, and you are watching Real TV. Tune in to the best programming in Trinidad and Tobago.
Real TV.